Neil Carlson here with Christina Bushy. She's the mother of Justin Bushy. We talked with her early in November, and as you said, your son's suffering from mental health issues. He got in trouble up at the emergency room for allegedly spitting on an employee there. Now he's in trouble again, allegedly kicked a cop and spit on another one after being under arrest. Now, in between this, he was put into a psych ward. What happened during this time?
Okay, so on November 5th, Justin called 911 because he thought that his spine was breaking into pieces. The ambulance came and they gave him a medication to calm him down, and then they brought him to the emergency room. I went in and talked with the ER doctor, and then we both agreed that Justin needed mental treatment immediately. It was almost 5 o'clock, so I hurried up and filled out a petition for involuntary commitment over our online and printed it out. And I got it up to the state's attorney's office like a few minutes before 5 so I could have it filed immediately. On November 7th, a mental health hold was approved for 2 weeks of treatment at Ultra. So Justin gets put in there for 2 weeks, and Justin signed it and waived his preliminary hearing because he really wanted help. So Justin signed his rights away and just said, yes, keep me in here, for help.
And again, sorry to interrupt you, but I see a lot of comments. This is an adult male. This isn't a child anymore. So
right.
There are a lot of different legal issues
I don't have very many rights to help him. I did get him to sign a release of information form at the emergency room, so that did help me a lot to try to get him help.
And then what happened?
Okay, so Justin is approved to, with court order to stay at Ultra for 2 weeks. So he's there, and on November 16th, another hearing was held because the doctors at Ultra felt Justin needed longer treatment. And so the court ordered a treatment for up to 90 days at Ultra. Okay, so I visited with Justin numerous times while he was in the hospital. I brought my dad and I brought other people to visit him, and I talked to the social worker there multiple times. And during visits, he was mostly calm. He was agitated and he was still having lucid thoughts, and he would pace the perimeter of the room nonstop the whole time during visitation. And I informed the social worker about all my concerns every single time I talked to her, and she seemed just as concerned as I was. So I felt like, okay, we are finally getting somewhere. They're going to get him help. So then on November 30th, the social worker and Justin's doctor called me to inform me that he was going to be released. And so I was really confused because the social worker had just told me a few days before that the doctor didn't feel comfortable with releasing Justin yet because he saw the lucid thoughts and the talking and, stuff like that. But they explained to me that since he was an adult, they didn't want to take any of his rights away. So that they were talking about having him work through Northeast through a place called Center or something, which I was told was a complete joke, that they can come and go as they please there, I don't even know all of it, but I was told that by numerous people. So anyways, they released him on November 30th about 4 o'clock, and he was instantly upset and was talking about things that I couldn't understand. His brother couldn't even understand them. And he hadn't even left the hospital yet. He called us from the hospital. He was still there, but he hadn't left. So we didn't even want to pick him up, but we had to because there's no one else to do it. And so his brother stayed with him at Justin's apartment for a few hours, just to make sure that he was calmed down and stuff before he left. So then I have an officer come to my house and tell me that Justin had been arrested. He said it was on numerous charges and he didn't know all of them, but one of them he did know was assault on a peace officer.
Yeah.
This officer has served me with every single one of the court-ordered papers that I have gotten with involuntary commitment with Justin, and he has agreed with me that nobody wants to help Justin. He told me it was ridiculous that Ultra released him. So here's my son, calls the police on December 4th because he thinks people are trying to kill him. They're trying to butcher him. But he ends up in jail again, and now he has more charges pending. So then on December 7th, a doctor from Northeast calls me, and she has Justin in her office. And she put Justin on speaker, and I couldn't understand anything he was saying. It was just craziness. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I told her my concerns, and she says to me, and these are her exact words, "You need to be thankful that he's in jail. He has food, and he can't hurt himself. And I know that we sound cold-blooded, but that's how it is." And I said, well, why is he in jail when I have court papers right here that say, if any peace officer, physician, psychiatrist, clinical psychologist, or any mental health professional reasonably believes that the respondent is not complying with this order and considerations of time and safety do not allow intervention by the court, the designated professional may cause the respondent to be taken into custody by law enforcement officers and detained at a treatment facility. Tell me why my son's in jail.
All right. So, and again, I don't know this system and how it works. You're the one dealing with it. But there's no way to get legal custody or whatever, and you're put in Jamestown for treatment, or I don't know how the system works, but.
I don't either. I know that the doctor from Northeast talked to me about maybe taking over, trying to file a petition to the court to take over for Justin's finances to make sure his rent's being paid and things like that. That's not going to help any if he doesn't get help, because it's just going to be a huge argument. He's going to want his money. And if I'm taking care of his finances, who do you think he's going to come to get his money? It's going to be a huge argument every time he wants money. He needs to be taught how to live with his illness. I don't know how they don't understand that.
Okay.
Everything was going good while he was up at Altru. They were working with him, and they were, they said that he was kind of a loner and didn't want to, go to group or do things with other people or be around him. But some people are like that, and they were trying to work with him, and then all of a sudden they let him go like 3 days later. I don't know. Maybe it's because they didn't think he had insurance or something. I don't know. I don't know what other reason it could be, because that social worker did say he's racking up a bill.
Okay. And again, I see on social media people make comments, well, why does the family just take care of them? Well, like you, probably like me and most Americans, everybody has a job and has to work nowadays.
Exactly.
And unless you're wealthy, it's not an easy thing to just, we'll just put somebody in treatment. So.
Exactly. I have no way of paying for that. I mean, if I did, I've been dealing with this since Justin was 19 years old, and he is now 30. And if I had money to help my son get treatment, you bet I would. I would definitely do that for him.
Okay. So, at least this afternoon I talked to the jail. He's sitting in jail, I guess. For you, he should be sitting in treatment, I'm guessing what you're thinking, so.
Yeah, I mean, sitting in jail, is he going to go to prison now because of these charges? I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared for him. Are they going to send him to prison because of these charges? I don't know. I'm to the point where I'm going to check in to see if I can find an attorney that will help me. I have to do something. I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel for you. I'm no expert. Hopefully we'll keep up on this and let us know what's going on. Take care.
Thank you for helping us.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
And kind of an anguished mother doesn't know where to go with all this. Her son's suffering from mental illness. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.